Excellent. All right. Apparently that's working. Cool. So if you're on YouTube, welcome. And those of you in the webinar, that's cool. Let me just share my slides. IELTS Reading Super Skills. I've double checked this one, so hopefully there'll be no mistakes like last last week there were a few mistakes. I apologize. It's quite difficult to write these questions. You often need another person to double check them for you. Just waiting for this to connect on YouTube. It gets slow right there. And while that's happening, feel free to ask any questions in the chat. Who we got? Smaranika, Susan, Serhi, Hitesha. And of course, it's going to time out on YouTube. Come on. Okay, Divya asks, difference between false and not given. Some exercises are confusing. Right. Knew that would happen. It timed out. Headings also. Right. Okay, well, good. We've got true, false, not given coming up. And we've also got not matching headings. We've got a similar task though. So we'll do both of those. Fine. So that's working on YouTube. Excellent. And cool. Let me record. Okie dokie. Welcome to the IELTS Reading Super Skills webinar. What we're going to do is look at some strategies, some skills that you need to complete the IELTS reading successfully. At the end, we're going to do a mini mock test. So let's just get started. The 3 skills that you need for IELTS reading are skimming, scanning, and understanding synonyms. I've done IELTS Academic, I got a 9, and these were the 3 skills that I needed in order to get a 9. Let's look at skimming first. It applies to these question types: multiple choice, true, false, not given, yes, no, not given, matching information, headings, features, sentence endings, sentence completion, the flowchart completion, and the other 2 at the end there. What is it? Well, skimming is a reading strategy that helps you get the main idea of a text or paragraph. The main idea of a text or paragraph. It saves you time because you don't have to read the text from top to bottom. How do you do it? Simple. Read the first sentence of each paragraph. The first sentence is where the main ideas are usually located. Let's try it. What's the main idea of this paragraph here? Choose A, B, C, D, or E. What's the main idea? Just read that first sentence. Ten seconds left. Type your answer into the chat. If you're on YouTube, type it into the comments bar. Cool, that's looking good. I agree with you all. So what's this one? This is like match headings, right? So how do you do match headings in a quick amount of time? You read the first sentence to get the main idea. So the answer there is hungry spiders. Let's have a closer look at that. Let me just move that. So a new study reveals, fine, some stunning estimates about just how much the world's spiders eat annually. Spiders eating. So is it about hungry spiders? Yes. Is it about tons of insects? No. Is it about 8-legged carnivores? Possibly, but it's more about hungry spiders. Forests and grasslands? No. The University of Basel? No. These keywords are all in here, but it's that first sentence that gives the paragraph away. Why? Well, a well-written paragraph should have a topic sentence. You probably got taught this in high school. And a topic sentence introduces the paragraph. So if you read the topic sentences, you'll know what the paragraph is about. Let's look at scanning. What's scanning? Scanning is looking for keywords in a passage. Why do you do it? Because it's helpful when you want to find specific information in a limited time, which basically is IELTS reading. finding specific information in a limited time. Which question types does it apply to? These ones: multiple choice, true, false, not given, yes, no, not given. You need to scan for all of these question types. How do you do it? Well, you identify keywords in the question. That's the first step. Look at the question, understand the question, because if you don't understand the question, you're in trouble. Because if you don't understand the question, you cannot find the answer. Then you find the corresponding keywords in the paragraph or in the passage of text. So in the IELTS, you get your piece of paper, and your questions usually will be on the left-hand side, and your passage will be on the right-hand side. So you look at the question, you identify keywords in the question, then you look at the passage, and you find the corresponding keywords in the passage, because you need to know where to look. That's the biggest problem, or that's the first problem, where to look. Once you locate where that question is, the corresponding statement or text, that's good. You've done the first step. Then you need to stop, zoom in on that part of the paragraph, read it carefully, and you go back and forth until you know the answer. And sometimes you do need to go back and forth to make sure you're getting the right answer. Read the question again, read the statement again, read the question again, read the statement again, give the answer. So let's try. What I want you to do first is just identify keywords in the question, okay? Let's do that first. So choose maybe two or three keywords in each question. Understand the question. Good, yes. Yeah, so Smaranika, probably a few more. Probably not enough to just say solar energy. Good, yep, number 2. What split separate molecules? Good. All right, let's have a think about this. So let's say you get these questions in your IELTS. First step, understand the questions. When does solar energy become inconsistent? Now, you've got yourself a problem because you need to keep this question in your mind, then go to the passage. But the problem is that you can't memorize all of those words. When does solar energy become inconsistent? When does solar energy become inconsistent? So an easier way to do it is to find some key words. For me, I would say something like when solar energy inconsistent, when solar energy inconsistent, when solar energy inconsistent. For this one, for me, so what can be split into 2 separate molecules? I would definitely be looking for the keyword molecule or something associated with molecules, and split. Split 2 separate molecules, split 2 separate molecules, and I'd go back and forth. With the third one, what 2 qualities do the cell materials need to be? So 2 qualities, cell materials, 2 qualities, cell materials. I've shortened the question, found some key words so I can keep it in my mind while I look in the passage. So when inconsistent, maybe solar energy as well. What split 2 molecules? What 2 qualities, cell materials? Something like that. Now let's find the corresponding keywords in the passage or in the paragraph, and I want you to find the answers. Now, what was I going to say? Yes, they're not going to be the exact corresponding keywords. They might be synonyms, so just be careful of that. Try to find the answers, okay? Let's see if we can find the answers. All right, how's it going? Yes, good. Yes, good, Baby Ali. Well done. Good, Divya. Excellent. Good, Sirhi. Just check your number one there, Sirhi. Something about inconsistent. Good, Muna. Good. You've got number 3. Well done. How are you going on YouTube, by the way? Please type in your answers into the comments, the live chat in YouTube. I'll give you some feedback. Good. Well done, Sirhi. You got it. Excellent. That's better. Good. All right. Let's have a look now. How did you go on YouTube, by the way? No answers yet. Fine. So, when does solar energy become inconsistent? Okay. So, when solar energy inconsistent? When solar energy inconsistent? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this in my mind. When solar energy inconsistent? I'm going to find a key word. Inconsistent. Inconsistent. Okay, consistent. So when does it become in short? Okay, good. Something, maybe sunlight is scarce. What can be split into 2 separate molecules? Okay, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, split water into, okay, good. I think I've got it. What 2 qualities do the cell materials need to be? 2 qualities, cell materials. 2 qualities, cell materials. Large and sustainable? No. Okay, so let's keep looking. Okay, materials, cells, materials, cheap and abundant. Cool. So let's look at the answers. When does solar energy become inconsistent? When sunlight is scarce. Something like that. This isn't really an IELTS question, so something like that would be fine. When sunlight is scarce, that's when solar energy becomes inconsistent. What can be split? What? This is going to be a noun. We're looking for a noun. What thing, noun, can be split into 2 separate molecules? Water can be split into hydrogen and oxygen. What 2 qualities do the cell materials need to be? They need to be cheap and abundant. Cool. That was the second strategy. The third one is understanding synonyms. So, how do you test somebody if they're a good reader or not? Because if your question and passage contain the exact same words, well, that's kind of easy, because you would just go, okay, I'm looking for abundant, and I find the abundant, there, got the answer. Too easy. So what IELTS does to make it more challenging and to really test whether you understand the text is the question and the passage will contain different words that have the same meaning. Okay, so the question will have a word like big and the passage will have a word like large or massive. They are synonyms. What are they? Synonyms are different words with the same or very similar meaning. Why are they important? Because in the IELTS reading, general and academic, words will be used in the questions that are different to those in the passage. Let's do a task. I want you to find the synonyms, 1 to 9. Now, just keep in mind that they follow a sequence. So number 1 will be at the start, number 9 will be at the end. What are the synonyms here? Good, Zazu on YouTube. Well done. Good, Prakriti on YouTube. Very good. All right, how's it looking? Good. Check your number 6, Maranika. So Donna, number 2 is in the first line. It's an adjective. Good, Muna. Well done. You got number 7. Good, Moser. You got number 9. Good, Oksana. Got number 4. Well done. 30 seconds left. Ramila, number, what have we got there? Number 7, it's a real trick. All right, let's have a look at the answers. So if you're a bit slow there, if you haven't finished yet, it's probably a sign that you need to build your vocabulary and that you need to learn synonyms. You probably know, maybe you know the words on the left, but you don't know the synonyms on the right. Or maybe you know the synonyms here, but you don't know the synonym on the left. In that case, you need to build your vocabulary because ultimately the IELTS is a test of your English. What is English? Vocabulary and grammar. That's what it is. They are the two ingredients of language. Right, let's look at the answers. Let me disappear. Artwork. So in the question might have the word artwork, but in the passage, it may just use the word art. In the question, it might use the word pleasing, and in the passage, it will use the word beautiful. These are synonyms. Feelings, emotion. Draw out, extract. So draw out feelings or extract feelings. Same meaning. Listeners, audience. Thought, consideration. Notices, detects. Create, produce. Create music, produce music. Same meaning. Synonyms. Evoke, elicit. So you can evoke feelings or you can elicit feelings. So they were the synonyms. And if you didn't get them, you need to build your vocabulary. Right, let's quickly recap before we do the mini mock test. So skimming, scanning, and synonyms. Wait, let me give you a better recap than that. Skimming, your ability to read the first sentence of a paragraph to understand the main idea and to do it quickly, right? It definitely applies to questions like match headings, or as we'll do in the mock test in a second, I'll show another question type. Scanning, this is your ability to find a keyword and then to look at the passage and look over it and to find a corresponding keyword. Now, it might be the exact same keyword, but probably not. It's probably going to be a synonym. So you look at the question, you see a word like inconsistent. You look at the passage and you scan across until you find the synonym or the same keyword. That's scanning. And you need to do it so quickly because time is of the essence in IELTS reading. And synonyms, we just looked at a big list and there are lots of different synonyms. You need to build your vocabulary. Let's do an IELTS reading mock test. Now, I hope there are no mistakes in this. Last week, there were a couple of ambiguous questions which could have been C or could have been D, which is not good. I tried to write this and be more careful this time, but please forgive me if there are any ambiguous questions. Let's have a look. First one we're going to do is this question here. Let me disappear. Matching information. It's similar to matching headings. Check your number 3, Mohammed. Oksana, check your number 1 and your number 4. In fact, check your 1, 3, and 4. Good, Hiteshi, got number 2. Good, Divya, got number 3. Ramila, please check your number 3. Good, Divya, well done. Maria, check your number 3. Good, Sudha, well done. Hitesha, check your number 1. Check your number 1, please. On YouTube, well done, Zazu, looking good. Number 1's good. Shakila, check your number 1. Good, Shakila, you got number 2. Zazu, you got number 2. Zazu, check your number 3. Moza, check your number 1. Good, Ramila. Good, Maria. Well done. You both got number 3. Okay, 30 seconds left. Check your number 3 and 4, Beba Ellie. And Narendra, check your number 3. You can use the same letter more than once. Narendra. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Cool. That's probably enough time for that one. This time we're going to do matching sentence endings. So what you need to do, if you're unsure, is you need to match this part of the sentence with this end of the sentence. Good, Hitesha. Well done. Moza, check your number 1. Remember, it must be a grammatical sentence. Divya, check your number 5, Divya. Number 1. Moza, don't worry. Sorry about that. Well done, Prakritri on YouTube. Smaranika, check your 7, 8, 5, 7. Check your number 6 and 7, Smaranika. Muna, check your number 5. All right, good. The answers are coming in now. Good, Divya, you got number 5. Well done. Good, Susan, you got number 7. And Smaronika got number 7. Well done. CE. So Hitesha, I'm sorry, you have to check them all. Good, Divya got number 7. Sudha, check your number 6 and 7, please. All right, 30 seconds left. Good, Moser, you got number 7. Good, Divya, you got number 8. Good, Ramila, you got number 6. Baker Ali, you got number 7, not number 5 or 6. D-E-A-D. So Donna, you got 5 and 7, but not 6 and 8. Oksana got number 5, number 6, number 7, but not number 8. Check your number 8, Oksana. Hitesha, you check your number 7. All right, 10 seconds left. Then we better move on. This one was tough. All right, let's move on. This one is answer short question. So choose no more than 2 words from the text, directly from the text for each answer. No more than 2 words for each answer. Divya, check your number 9. It's not asking for the scientific name. The last known. Good, Divya. Well done. You got number 9 and number 10. Good, Mosa. Good, Hitesha. Ramila, check your number 9. Good, Susan. Good, Divya. Divya, just for your number 11, it says no more than 2 words. So make sure you don't write a number. Good, baby. Ali, check your number 11. You're correct, but there's something wrong grammatically with your answer. Is it 2 feather or 2 feathers? Oksana, check your number 9. The last known, not the scientific name. Good, Serhi. Well done. Serhi, just check your number 13. I don't think it requires the preposition to. Okay, 30 seconds left. I'll go through the answers at the end. Good, Shakila on YouTube. Well done. Good, Prakriti. Very good. And Jawidi as well. Excellent. Okie dokie. That's questions 9 to 13. Questions 14 to 16. The last 3 questions. True, false, not given. Sorry, there's a spelling mistake here. It should say World Museum. That's my fault. That should say World Museum. Good, Divya. Thirty seconds left. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Cool. Well done. You just did that was a challenging test. That was a challenging test. So well done for doing it. It's frustrating. Reading and doing IELTS reading tasks is frustrating. It hurts. It mentally hurts. But the more you understand the question types and the more you know what to do, the less frustrating it will be. The more that you can just go, right, match sentence endings, boom, 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 I know what to do, boom, 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 done. Makes your life a lot easier being familiar with the question types. If you're not a member of e2language.com, you should definitely become one. Let's go through the answers. So let me disappear here. Okay, so this was matching information, right? It's very similar to matching headings, but what we needed to do was to sort of extract from here the main idea. So one of a kind. So one of these, we could, what's the word here? We could summarize it into a single sort of heading, and it would be one of these. So one of a kind. Let's read this. The only known example of the spotted green pigeon is the Liverpool pigeon, which is currently in the World Museum, Liverpool. One of a kind. So that makes sense. If you got B, well done. Some people got A, but it wasn't quite right. Read this. The mysterious spotted green pigeon was a relative of the dodo. Not quite. Not quite. It's not an exact summary of this paragraph. What about this one? The scientists took DNA from 2 feathers of the spotted green pigeon. No. This showed that the spotted green pigeon is indeed a separate species. No. What about number 2? Extracting a unique barcode. So definitely the keyword barcode. If we go to paragraph C, we can see here mini barcodes. It's mentioned here. And we can see that they took DNA, extract, took. So there's your answer. Number 2 is C. What about a lost pigeon? Well, here it says NB, note, you may use any letter more than once. So you can, in fact, have number 1, it could be B, number 2, C, this could be B, and this also could be B. That's possible. They could all be paragraph B, according to the instructions. So just be careful. They don't need to be different letters each time. So a lost pigeon. Well, here the first half of the paragraph was about one of a kind, but the second half said the only other known specimen has been lost, and there are no records of the bird in the wild. There is no record of where the pigeon was found. A lost pigeon, B. Finally, 4, its closest relatives, D. So it's a separate species. The pigeon is genetically most closely related, related to the Nicobar pigeon and the dodo. So there you go. So if you had B, C, B, and D, well done. Matching sentence endings got some people. So what we needed to do is we needed to take this number 5 and we needed to find the correct ending for the sentence, right? So if we look closely, let me just go back here actually. So if we go, here it is here, number 5. So the spotted green pigeon. This is an unfinished sentence. So here are the other half of the sentence, and we need to match them. The spotted green pigeon from a couple of feathers does not make grammatical sense. The spotted green pigeon in a British museum does not make grammatical sense. The spotted green pigeon is closely related to the dodo, makes sense. Is a relative of the Nicobar pigeon and the dodo, makes sense. Island hops, makes sense. There are 3 possibilities, C, D, and G. Now we need to find out the spotted green pigeon is closely related to the dodo, is a relative of the Nicobar pigeon and the dodo, or island hops. We need to choose one. Let's go back. So the spotted green pigeon is a relative of the Nicobar pigeon and the dodo. It says it right here. It's genetically most closely related to the Nicobar pigeon and the dodo. So if you got 5D, well done. 6, there is one specimen left in a British museum. Some people wrote in the wild. This was not correct. It says here, there are no records of the bird in the wild. There is one specimen left in a British museum is the correct answer, 6B. 7, DNA was extracted from a couple of feathers, from 2 feathers. Scientists took DNA, extract 2 couple feathers, 7A. And number 8, the Nicobar pigeon, well, is closely related to the dodo. It doesn't say that. It says the Nicobar pigeon island hops. The closely related Nicobar pigeon shows similar habits and has a preference for traveling between small islands. Or up here it says both birds are descended from island hopping ancestors. So 8G. Right, answer short question. We needed to choose no more than 2 words. So no numbers, 2 words, 1 or 2 words max. Number 9, what's the name of the last known spotted green pigeon? A lot of people wrote Caloenus maculata, which is the scientific name. But the only known example is the Liverpool pigeon. So number 9, the answer is Liverpool pigeon. Number 10, where is the Nicobar pigeon from? The Nicobar pigeon is from Indonesia. Number 11, from where did the scientists extract spotted green pigeon DNA? Well, if you had its feathers, correct. If you had feathers, correct. Or if you had 2 feathers, correct. Or the feathers. The feathers? The feathers? Maybe the feathers would be correct as well. Number 12, what sections of DNA are unique for a majority of bird species? So we've seen the word DNA. We look in here, DNA, DNA, DNA. We know it's in this paragraph. And here it says DNA mini barcodes, small sections of DNA which are unique for most, majority bird species. So if you had mini barcodes or written like this, correct. 13, the spotted green pigeon most likely has the ability to do what? Has the ability to fly. So you wrote fly, correct. Cool, last one. Oh, by the way, you have to be careful with grammar with your answers. If you wrote feather, or if you wrote to feather, this would be considered incorrect because it's grammatically incorrect. So even in your answers, you still must be grammatically correct. 2 feathers, plural. Right, the Liverpool Museum has been in the World Museum for a long time. Not given. This is an interesting one. This question really confuses people. It's simple. After a while, you start to understand it. There is simply no information given about how long that pigeon has been in the museum. It's probably been in the museum for 100 years, but we don't know exactly because it's not in the text. So you should never assume anything. If you're assuming something, it should be not given because you don't actually know. Because true, false, not given is about facts. And we don't know this fact, so we'll say not given. 15, despite the bird's age, its DNA was in good condition. Well, the DNA was highly fragmented. So false. Because these contradict each other. They say different things. So here it is given, but it's wrong. It's false. What about 16? The spotted green pigeon is its own distinct species. The spotted green pigeon is indeed a separate species. True. Good. Right. If you're watching this on YouTube or if you're a free member in this webinar, do think about upgrading your account on e2language.com so you can get full access to the platform, so you can get one-on-one tutorials with expert teachers like me, so you can get written feedback on your writing tasks, so you can get speaking practice, so you can get the pronunciation app, grammar lessons, vocabulary, everything you need to pass your IELTS. rock and roll. Let's go to Q&A because I'm sure you have some questions. Let's have a look. Whoops, while I'm doing that, I'm going to stop recording. Cool. All right, here we go. Baber, it's really tough. Yes. Yes, IELTS reading is definitely not simple. It's challenging, but you need to be up to the challenge. To be up to the challenge, you need to improve your vocabulary, your grammar, and your reading skills, and you need to practice the test. Why not also A for number 4? I'm not, let me have a look. Hold on. Let me go to number 4, see what you're talking about. Okay. Yes, good question. So here, okay, sometimes with matching headings or matching information, there will be one that could be right, but there'll be one that is definitely or is more correct. Okay, so you need to go for the one that is distinctly correct, and that's why A is not correct for number 4. Ramilla, yes. Sorry, in the IELTS reading, it does come in order. So when you're doing a question, like let's say you're doing multiple choice and there are 3 questions. The first question will be above the second question and the third question. So you do read down sequentially. I changed this a little bit because it was easier for me actually. Fine. Question number 9 is tricky. Yes, that was a tricky one. Baberelli, how to improve skimming? Any best source? No, you need good practice materials to improve skimming, because basically what you're doing is looking for synonyms, keywords, synonyms. Yes, you need good practice materials. So Divya got 14 out of 16. That's good. Okay, Moser, are optional answers acceptable? I don't really know, Moser, to be honest. I don't think so. I think in IELTS reading, the one that we just did, and I had the different possible answers, I think in the IELTS they don't have that. I think they just make it very clear that it's one particular answer. But while I was making this to make my life easier, I gave some possible answers. One thing that you should be careful of when doing that, though, is making sure that your answers are grammatical. That's a key thing to do. For example, if the answer is 2 feathers, you must write 2 feathers with an S because it will be marked wrong. Or if you just write feathers, maybe that would be wrong. You have to be precise. So try to be as precise as you can and try to be as grammatical, be grammatical with your answers as well. Baberelli, from which website should we get quality materials? Oh, I don't know, actually. Maybe e2language.com. Definitely e2language.com. Be careful where you get your practice materials from, because a lot of them can be substandard. Cool. All right, I think we're all good. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks a lot. Do sign up to e2language.com as a free member. If you're a free member, think about upgrading because it's well worth your time and money. Cool. Good stuff. All right. No worries. See you guys later. Thanks very much for coming.